Hi guys, Fade here from nerffaids.blogspot.com. Just going to be running through Stratholme here to get some quick heirloom enchanting mats. Thought I'd show you guys how I do it. This is to go with an upcoming blog post I'll be having over at Nerf Faids, so be sure to check it out because it'll have extra commentary about this and why I'm doing it. I went in through the back door. This began as barren runs that I eventually turned into enchanting materials farming, so I just wanted to show you what it evolved into. Now, the crate trick that I did use a long time ago unfortunately was fixed, so you do have to kill all the bosses in the ziggurats, but that's just a lot of extra enchanting mats in your pocket for this. Each boss will drop a blue and has a very high chance to drop a green resist piece. I got one from every boss while I was in here this run, and so it's a great place for enchanting mats, on top of the fact that Baron drops 2 blues. There's large brilliant shards all over the place in Stratholme, and it's a great place to go. Now, Fade here that I'm farming on does not actually have enchanting. You'll notice that there is a druid in my party on the left. I am soloing this place. That druid is actually AFK in Dalaran. I'm actually controlling the character. It's a real-life Friends character that I'm using that has max enchanting. Because of this, I get the group pop-up that tells me that I can disenchant the item, and that's how I'm able to disenchant BOP items from bosses without actually having enchanting on my character. It's a great way to get a little bit extra out of farming low-level instances. Sorry the video is in nearly black and white. It's pretty hard to get a good brightness here in Stratholme for when I fraps, and so I end up making it almost monochrome so that I can get so you can at least see what's going on here. The magistrate here is barely out of your way at all, drops a blue, so there's an extra large brilliant shard for pretty much no work. To get to the Baron, you will have to kill all of these abominations, so go ahead and kill them all at your own pace. I kill them all at once because I'm a prop paladin and I can, it's what we do. But your squishier classes, your priests and such, might need to go a little bit slower. We'll loot these later. We're going to go ahead and run into Rammstein's room right as he comes out. This way we won't have to wait for the doors to reopen, and it saves a little bit of time. Rammstein's also guaranteed to drop a green as well as his blue, so that's another bonus enchanting mat there. Pull the Baron. He'll drop his 3 blues, and of course he won't drop his horse. Woe is me. But oh well, that just means I get to come back and keep doing these. These undead that spawn are pretty squishy. I'm pretty sure anyone can handle them regardless of how much hit points they have. Go ahead and loot these. I'm going to speed it up because looting here takes quite a while. Now if you were just doing Baron runs plus enchanting, then you could just run out the back door here and be pretty much done. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple extra things that you can do to get bonus enchanting mats in here. That may or may not include rat traps. You'll also possibly get some formulas, schematics, patterns, etc. while you're in here. I'd recommend holding on to them and checking the prices on your server. Some of them are 1 gold or less in value, but I've had a few here that I've sold for over 1,000 on the auction house, so be sure to check it out. Going over to the front area now, here's Hearthsinger. He's marked as a rare, but he is always up. He just spawns in different locations, so you may have to look around for him a little bit. But he drops a blue, so yay more large brilliant shards. As you go through this alleyway, the Unforgiven spawns. It's another boss, so even another large brilliant shard. Right now I'm just showing you quick ways to bosses and not really worrying about the trash. That will come later when I'm showing you more trash. Other than this trash, which apparently is special, and I wanted to pull it, I guess. What I'm doing is I'm going over to Live Side. Live Side is the only place in the game right now to get Righteous Orbs, which are needed for the Crusader enchant. So if you're wanting to do heirloom enchants, it's a pretty important place for you. I'm going to line of sight all the casters in that courtyard around here. If you clear out the courtyard, a ghoul named Timmy the Cruel spawns, and he'll give you an extra blue, which is another large brilliant shard, which is pretty much the theme of the run in case you haven't guessed. It's BOE blue. I'll hold on to it just until I decide what I want to do with it. DEing all these greens and blues as they drop instead of later on also is great in that I can then have more bag space since the shards are going onto a stack instead of different spots for each blue. Now I almost skipped the trash, but then remembered I'm here for enchanting mats, particularly righteous orbs. Righteous orbs can drop off any of the trash in live side here, so you want to go ahead and kill it all. This is pretty much the first run I've never gotten a trash orb in. Usually I get at least one, often 2 or 3. And you're also guaranteed to get one off the Archivist, so it's never a waste. You'll always get at least one if you come over here. The only real pain here is that if you're melee, some of the mobs do disarm, so they can cause you a little bit of worry, but they're not too big of a deal. Also, there's a significant amount of runners in here as they are humanoid, so be sure you're prepared to deal with runners in whatever way your class does. You'll also be getting a lot of rune cloth while you're in here. If you need that for whatever purpose, rep turn-ins or what have you, you might as well do that. But if you don't, toss them to a tailor, make them into headbands, and get even more enchanting mats out of them. It's really great for dust for enchants. Clearing out this whole area in front of the Cannon Master. Some runners actually end up pulling him, but it's not too big of a deal. He'll drop 2 blues, so that's 2 more shards, yay. I also end up getting a pristine black diamond on this pull, which, even with the insane changes, still seems to be going for about 350 gold on Argent Dawn. The Cannon Master will also drop a trinket that puts a little cannon on the ground, and what's not to love about that? Some of these blacksmithing plans will look pretty nice. You say, hey, a BOE blue pattern, this is nice. Sometimes they'll sit on the auction house forever and then eventually sell for 5 gold. Sometimes you'll sell them for 1 million. Try your luck if you want. I'd recommend at least giving it a shot and seeing if you can get one sold. Alright, here we go with the Righteous Orb. This is the Archivist, and he's the only mob guaranteed to drop one, but it's nice to get a guaranteed one per run, at the very least. All these enchanting mats are going to go towards heirloom enchants, which I use to make quite a bit of gold. Please be sure to check out the corresponding blog post at nerffaids.blogspot.com. I'll be sure to put a link in the comments, and then you can check out exactly why I'm making this video, as there's some extended commentary, so to speak, in the blog post. Now once you've cleared this area out, there are undead spawn, but they're very squishy. They can't drop righteous orbs, unfortunately, but they drop cloth and greens and all the usual good stuff. As for the boss I just killed behind me, the very end boss of live side, he will drop 2 blues, so yay, bonus shard once more. And he can drop an epic tailoring pattern. It's not really that awesome, but completionists seem to like to buy it for quite a bit, because hey, who doesn't like buying purples? Hit up another rat trap here. Once again, you could walk out the back door, but I wanted to go visit the front door, because I'd heard that you were supposed to be able to walk out of Stratholme soon, and I wanted to see if the change was made since I last was here. First checking on the rare spawn, which is not up. Okay, headed to the front door. Unfortunately, I do end up discovering that the door has not yet been fixed, and that's probably once it gets retooled for the level 40-ish Stratholme that it's going to be in Cataclysm. I do know that Righteous Orbs will continue to drop in the lower level retooled instance, though I am not sure of anything else. So I can't really tell you much about the new Stratholme, but I do love old Stratholme. Sorry for viewing the wall there. Between the wall and the tree, it's kind of hard to get a good camera angle here. Just basically pulled the whole front little section there. I'm going to spend about 4.5 minutes looting here. Sped it up quite a bit so you don't have to waste time watching it. Nothing super interesting here, just extra gold, cloth, enchanting mats, vendor grays, etc. Also in here is the Stratholme courier. He dropped 3 keys, which are used to open post office boxes around the instance, such as this one. When you open the 3rd one per instance, you'll get a boss named Postmaster Malone. He will drop a blue, which is, once again, a free large brilliant shard. Head over here, make sure we get Malone for you, and then we'll be done. Looks like we still had some trash that I had forgotten I left up, so let's round all that up. One thing to know if you're doing big AoE pulls like this is that they do have a lot of stuff that can slow you. They'll hamstring, they have a disease that slows. You're going to want to be ready with some sort of way to remove movement impairing effects. Human racial, hand of freedom, whatever you got. Sorry for bouncing around so much here. I can keep wanting to get away from the wall so you can actually see this time, but they aren't having any of that. Really, if you clear out all the trash like this, you'll spend more time looting than you will farming. And though the enchanting mats are great, if you don't need a lot of enchanting mats, I'd recommend just doing boss runs. Because you spend so much time looting. You'll see I filled up my bags completely, had to pull out my engineering bot. Other options are going out the back door and using a Traveler's Tundra Mammoth, or using your Argent Pony Bridle if you have one, or just being an engineer like all the cool kids. Okay, so running towards the back door, looking for post office boxes that I have a key for. Not that one. Here's one I have the key for. This is my 2nd. So once again, it's just going to be little trash mobs that don't drop loot. There's a little box that spawns on each post box, but it doesn't have anything of real interest inside of it, just some vendor trash. Okay, here we are back at the back door where we very first started. Pulling the trash pull right in front of the last post office box I need. Here's my post office box, and there's Postmaster Malone. So I'm going to kill him, get an extra large brilliant shard, and that's basically it. Just run through that a couple times and you'll find yourself rolling in heirloom enchant materials. Please be sure to check out nerffaids.blogspot.com in the comment link, because there's going to be a lot of follow-up information to this video about what to do with those enchanting mats once you have them. Thanks so much again, guys. This has been Fade from nerffaids.blogspot.com.